All right, guys, we're back now for, I guess, part 2 of this. Let's say this thing may drag on a little bit, but it has been heavily requested. So in part A, we got our in-feed in time with our tuckers. Now we have to get our top transfer in time with our in-feed, which in turn obviously puts our top transfer in time with our tuckers. Don't skimp on this, because this is going to determine are you smashing your product in the bottom of the bag, or are you not getting your product all the way to the bottom of the bag. Obviously the length of your product really doesn't make any difference, because if we go with a longer product, you're obviously going to go with a longer bag. So if you've got your bag sized to the length of your product, then this step right here is going to ensure, whether you're running a 12 pack, a 16 pack, a 4 pack, whatever, you're going to get your product to the bottom of the bag without smashing it. So we have jogged the machine around. We're going to open a guard here. We're going to verify the machine's not going to start on us. We're not going to be doing a lot in here once again. So what we have done now is, and this may be a little tricky to see on the camera, a lot of times the manual will tell you to measure from the frame or measure from the end of something. Especially the older manuals, we don't do it that way here, because the frames are different. Some boy might have cut that thing a 1/4 inch short. So what we're going to do is we're going to jog it until our in-feed fingers are flush with our transfer plate. So it's jogged around, our in-feed fingers are on their way down, and those are level and flush right there. And then we're going to set our top transfer pusher one. So once again, you know, with chains, you're never going to get exact. On this one, you're a little better to air going forward into the bag. So we're going to set that at 1 to 1, usually 1.5 would be the absolute max. Is what we're going to set that at. Now, some of this may be hard to see on the camera, but can you see that on there? Is that coming up on the camera all right?
Yes.
All right. What are we getting on that? I can't see it. It should be about 1.5, right? 1 1/4, 1.5.
Actually, looks like you're about 1 inch.
Okay, 1 inch. We're good then. So at this point, we know now that our top transfer is in time with our end feed. And what is going to happen now is, as that top transfer is driving the product through the tuckers are going to be opening right before the product gets there. And as the product hits the bottom of the bag, the tuckers are going to be retracting. And the only thing holding that bag is going to be the wicket wire. So you're going to get a nice clean bag off. Everything's going to come off right. You're not going to smash your product. And that's in time. So now we've got our in-feed in time with our tucker. We have our top transfer in time with our in-feed, which means that it's in time with our tucker. Now the only other mechanical aspect that we got to time is our stacker. So we'll close this up and we'll jog it again, and we'll come back here. We'll kind of, I guess, drift off here for a minute and come right back when we get down to the stacker. All right, guys, here we are again. Now we determined we got a 27-inch machine, so we're going to set the stacker timing on a 27 machine at 19 inches. If we had a 24-inch machine, we would set it at 17 inches. That goes back to what I was saying in the previous episode about the 27 gives you a little bigger window to get a little bit longer product in there. So what we've done now is, let me kill this thing again here. We're going to open the guard. Okay, she's not starting. So what we've done is we silence that alarm. We got a piece of foam over it, but we've got us a measurement from our bump rail here, bun stop, whatever you want to call that. We call it a bump rail, where your product comes in and stops. We've measured back 19 inches from that point, and we've made us a little mark right there. I don't know if you can see that mark. Can you see her there? Okay, so we've got ourselves a mark at 19 inches. Now I've jogged this machine so that my fingers are even with that 19-inch mark. And at that point, our stacker should be fully extended. And I don't know if we can get the camera in there to see that very well. Can you see that in there okay? Our stacker connecting rod is fully extended, and that means that stacker is out as far towards the grid bars as it will go. This is our initial timing on the stacker. Once we get our electrical timing timed in, so we've got our product timed into our end feed the way it should go, we may have to go back there and adjust that stacker one tooth forward or one tooth back on the miter gears to get that exactly where we want it. So this is just a initial timing, and all the years I've been messing with these things, and it's been a lot of years, I've never had to go over one tooth forward or one tooth back on the timing of the stacker when I set it this way. Now what we would generally do now, and what we're getting ready to do here, is we're going to jog this machine back to our home position where our tuckers are all the way retracted, just starting to go forward, and we're going to put some little red timing targets on there. We'll put them on the top transfer, we'll put them on the end feed, and we'll put them on the stacker, and we'll put them on the cross feed, takeaway conveyor, J conveyor, whatever you want to call it back there. We're not going to go into timing that. If you can't time one of them, you probably need to go find you another job. I reckon that's kind of pretty much an eyeball timing back there. We're going to put the little red targets on there. Y'all need some of them targets. Y'all give Lenny a call. We'll send them to you. You can rivet them or put a little screw in them on the machine, and then you know it's in time. The reason you do this is because if an operator's saying machine's out of time, it takes quite a bit to get a machine out of time. Chain's going to have to jump. Something's going to have to give. All you got to do then is come back out and jog that machine till your tuckers are all the way retracted, just starting to go forward, and you can look at your timing marks. My comp transfer is in time. My end feed's in time. My stacker's in time. That's not the problem. The machine is in time. Instantly, that's removed. There's not a question of is it in time or not. It's in time. So we're probably going to fade on out here, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about the electronic timing now that we have the machine mechanically timed. So we'll come back here in just a few minutes.